Well, I think it's about time I get around to reviewing this one as well. Killer Sofa is a 2019 Z movie from New Zealand, all about, you guessed it, a sofa, also referred to as a couch, that has homicidal tendencies. While ridiculous, the idea is somewhat original. I can give it that. Anyways, without further ado, on with the review.
Polos is life, 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 sleep all night and then Polos is life.
The movie begins with this character doing some kind of satanic blood ritual, and then a guy comes in with a chainsaw and cuts off his legs. Heading right into the action, I see. It's not inherently bad, but I'm just confused. The shot of the blood going on the photograph is so cliché, and the blood looks like water with red food dye. There are some ominous shots of a couch in the background too. Foreshadowing, I guess. This is probably the titular Killer Sofa. Then we are introduced to some other characters that go to pick up and deliver the sofa from before. It's chained with a note that reads, "Deliver to Francesca." Very sinister. I wonder what's going to happen next. Some opening credits play over the performance of one of our main characters, Francesca, who is accompanied by her friend Maxie, I assume for moral support. The performance is cut short when two officers named Gravy and Grape pull the girls aside and question them about the death of a guy called Federico. I believe this is the guy from the beginning who was getting his legs amputated. He was apparently really obsessive and a stalker, to the point where Francesca had to get a restraining order against him. Francesca seems way more forgiving of this than Maxie is. Like, she kind of minimizes his actions to the officers.
Francesca makes a habit of attracting weirdos.
They're not weirdos. They're just dedicated, obsessed.
There's a reason for this that's explained later, but this could be one of the responses to finding out someone who tormented you like this has died. It is kinda sad. Francesca ends the interaction as her recliner is getting delivered, as was previously established, and we cut back to the delivery people. One of them gets their hand crushed by the chair, and their reactions are kind of blasé.
Okay, you two, go, take care of that. I'll finish this.
Okay.
Go now.
They're staying calm under pressure, but my god, she's handling that well. What if she can't work as a delivery woman anymore because of the damage to her hand? And, you know, you kinda need your hands to be in tip-top condition anyway. There's this horrible thick red lighting over these scenes too. Anyways, the remaining delivery guy tries to deliver the chair and Maxie's grandpa, Jack, comes out to take a look at it. Jack is a rabbi, so he's immediately suspicious of the sofa, which has already been shown to be kinda dodgy at this point. He asks about the blood on it and then has some kind of vision of a woman running around when he touches the sofa. Are they trying to say he has ESP, or is this like a religious holy man thing? I'm a bit lost on the lore here. Francesca's new boyfriend TJ helps her bring the chair up, and he's shown to be kind of an insensitive douche. He isn't really careful about the news of Federico's death, and is pretty oblivious to Francesca's romantic gestures. All of this is leading me to believe that he's gonna die in this movie, so don't get attached. TJ leaves and Francesca goes to take a shower, and there's this creepy zoomed in shot of the sofa. I've not discussed this properly up until now, but it's very clear that the chair's design was meant to represent a face. Thanks Pareidolia for assisting this silly movie in its plight. I think it's also safe to assume that this chair has something to do with Federico and his supposed death. That evening, Jack asks his girlfriend about Dybbuk. I didn't know this before making this video, but a Dybbuk is a kind of vengeful ghost that possesses people in Jewish folklore. No guesses as to where this plot is going. Apparently, he does have some kind of ESP though, and so does his disapproving dad. Thanks for clearing that up. Maxie visits Francesca to watch a movie with her, and when she goes to her car to leave, she spots the chair seemingly looking at her from the window above. What, so how does it walk around? Does it have stubs that it hobbles around on? It disappears while she's distracted by a dog barking, and the scene kinda reminds me of the one in the original Halloween. Francesca then sits in the chair, and I thought that it was going to try to kill her. But instead, the weirdest scene I've ever come across in a movie like this begins. She, starts fondling the chair while creepy softcore porno music plays in the background, and the red lighting makes a comeback. It goes on for 2 minutes, and it's super uncomfortable, but it just turns out to be a dream. Jack is watching some online personality describing the debug and what it's capable of and whatnot.
If you have touched the debug, you have established a connection and opened the door to allow the beast to enter your body.
Not looking good for any of those delivery people, Jack, or Francesca then, and we're only 20 minutes into the movie. I wish I could be as dramatic as that guy in my videos though. He was really selling what he had to say there. The next morning, Francesca awakens to the recliner having gotten her some flowers, biscuits and coffee, along with a trail of candles. She assumes that TJ was responsible for this, and of course, he takes credit. Some worm's eye shots suggest that this makes the chair angry. TJ really likes signing his death warrant, huh? The police then interview the girls again, revealing that Federico was really into voodoo. Now, where have I heard that before? It's further explained that Francesca had a number of stalkers, and each time she files a restraining order, she provides a different address. The officers act like this is strange, but it's kind of not. She seems to be a well-known dancer, and while this amount of stalking is odd, it's not totally unbelievable. On top of that, it makes sense why she'd need to move a lot because of this. Do they know something that we don't? As TJ is home alone, the chair attacks and stabs him with a hidden blade underneath the footrest. The police are called in time though, and he's found in the bathtub with some leg wounds. Who called the police? It probably wasn't TJ, as I doubt that he could get to the phone. Was it a neighbour? Did the chair self-report? TJ tries to rest up at his mum's house, which is only a few doors down from Francesca. The chair is then implied to scale the house up to where TJ is, and it stabs him with a screw of some kind. You can see the silly little scurrying down the street in the previous shots, and it looks so dumb. His mum doesn't help him because she has headphones on downstairs, so she doesn't hear him screaming. Tragic. But his death was predictable. According to the YouTube guy, yes, he's a reoccurring character, the debug feeds on the souls of its victims to get stronger, and we get some shoddy CGI effects. Apparently, you can't really do anything to save the victim either. How convenient. Jack has another vision, and the girl from the past seems to have poisoned someone before committing suicide. I like the whole adding more and more pieces to the puzzle as the film goes on storyline. It's been used before, yes, but I think it works here and helps to add tension amongst all the silliness. Francesca starts to suspect that the chair is possessed, and while hoovering his room, TJ's mum realises that the hoover is actually picking up pieces of person. Very gross visual, and it's quite a creative body discovery scene. I thought that it was cool. After being called to the police station again, another of Francesca's stalkers, Ralph, approaches her asking about the prospect of marriage. As neither of them realise that TJ has died, Ralph kinda just tries to flex what a Chad he is.
He has weak bones. I have strong bones. It makes strong babies.
Babies? I'm too young for babies, Ralph. I'm sorry.
Interesting game, dude, but not very endearing. Maybe try a different approach with someone who's actually interested. He then breaks into her house like a total weirdo, and at the station, the officers, Francesca and Maxie, all come to the conclusion that Ralph is the culprit behind all the murders, although the officers suspect that it's a two-man job. Halfway there, guys. Halfway there. Meanwhile, Ralph gets into bed with some of Francesca's clothing and... yeah, you can imagine. The couch appears eerily from the doorway. Seriously, this shot is actually super creepy, and bashes Ralph's head in with an iron just off screen. The under the bed shot of the chair walking looks just as stupid as I imagined too. Francesca is also shown to be losing her grip on reality as she asks Maxie to go and check on the recliner. Jack intercepts her trip and tells her the recliner is possessed, which Maxie seems to accept pretty much off the bat. She insists on going on her own, but finds Ralph's body being dragged off screen by the chair when she arrives at the house. She then sees it throwing the body off the balcony, and it spots her. She escapes through a window and falls into a bin on the street below after a chase scene. Ouch. The effects here aren't as horrible as I was expecting, but come on, it's a bloody chair, how am I supposed to take this seriously? As Maxie doesn't return 2 hours later, Francesca and the police officers head to Francesca's house. The chair approaches Francesca, calling her Valerie, and Francesca drives to a cliffside, before Jack calls her to meet up and talk. We see a little bit of the nice landscapes that New Zealand has, and I wish we saw more of them in this movie. Jack explains that there was a couple named Valerie and Gerard, who poisoned people to steal their souls or something. Valerie committed suicide to avoid persecution, but it was witnessed by a peasant who later suffered hallucinations and possession by Valerie, leading to men obsessing over her. This woman also just so happened to be one of Francesca's ancestors.
What a twist!
This is pretty cheesy, but I can let it slide. I've heard worse explanations in these kind of stories. Federico was possessed by Gerard, who's in the recliner, but Dibbuks apparently need a human vessel. The explanation for this is so dumb, I'll explain later. Jack makes a plan to trap the Dibbuks in boxes and burn them, and Officer Gravy is now shown to be obsessing over Francesca. I could kinda see this coming given the whole male infatuation thing. Jack then has a heart attack because of the spiritual stress. This sucked, I did like his character and I wish he got more screen time. The guy who chopped off Federico's legs in the intro is being interrogated, and he tells Gravy that he didn't even kill Federico, and that he even dressed the wounds. Now, this plot twist is so dumb. Federico chopped his legs off to hide in the chair, to physically fit himself inside the chair.
What a twist!
It's just so dumb. Why would you add this? Why was this even necessary? And if you thought that was dumb, while this is being explained, Francesca tries to get the Dibbuk into a box by asking it, and then when she tries to just burn it, it stands up like a person and walks towards her. I'm not making this up, guys. This is so stupid. Gravy manages to arrive and shoot it though, just in time. And Federico is still somehow in there, but faceless, and he gets shot? Could this be explained by all the voodoo? Maybe, I don't know. Francesca goes into the bathroom and is fully possessed by Valerie. I guess due to the shock of what she's just witnessed, the mental weakness and stuff. Maxie awakens and just walks in with a glass shard in her head like it's nothing, and Valerie smiles evilly in a mirror. No one noticed that? Okay. Valerie takes Gravy on a date to give Gerard a new host body, and she poisons him. Officer Grape returns to the house and witnesses the whole soul transfusion thing, but she's killed by the couple immediately. Maxie also witnesses this from the street below, as she also got suspicious and returned to the house. While calling the police and an ambulance, she notices Francesca's figure falling through a void in the chair's button eyes before the movie ends. I actually really like the ending. It has like a Twin Peaks vibe. Okay, a violent villain with a penchant for voodoo who possesses an inanimate object to achieve the goals that he couldn't while he was alive. We all know which franchise comes to mind when you describe that premise. It's not like this is the only franchise which takes a lot of inspiration from Child's Play either. I must give credit where credit is due though. They do try to do something a bit more creative with this movie. I wasn't expecting the Jewish mythology angle, for example. It's not something that you see a lot of in mainstream horror. I like that this movie utilised it, although I'm not sure how accurate the references actually are. I also like that this movie was from New Zealand, as apart from cult favourites like What We Do in the Shadows and Brain Dead, I haven't come across many horror-themed movies from that part of the world. It was a nice change. In an article by The Hollywood Reporter, link in the description, the creator of the film said that he was originally planning on naming the film My Lover, My Lazy Boy, but changed his mind as he was afraid of being sued by the furniture company. Killer Sofa isn't exactly a great name though. Why not Killer Couch? I get that that's more of an American term, but at least it could have been alliterative. It's not even a sofa, Killer Chair would have been more accurate. I'm gonna try and do one of those really fast outros that some YouTubers do. Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to follow me on social media, they're all linked in my description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
The blue and green ones are my favorite kind, but I'll eat the colored ones from time to time. Cause Polos is life, 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 Polos is life. Sleep all night and then Polos is life.